Social justice is the concept that all people should have equal access to wealth, health, well-being, privileges, and opportunity. Ever since India's independence, social justice was aimed at providing benefits of welfare measures to its people. But in reality, implementation had always been a problem. Sustainable growth can be achieved by a nation only when that growth reaches the people who need it the most.
And it is the duty of the government to ensure this through reform of social structures, creation of impactful socio-economic programs, and more importantly, through societal transformation towards an equal and just society. Hello and namaste, I am Richa Dwivedi.
If we take a look at various sectors, we can see that in the last 8 years, several policy initiatives of the Narendra Modi government have enabled Indian citizens to take their destiny into their own hands and build for themselves a future that is secure as well as prosperous.
Over the last 8 years, the story of transformation in multiple segments of society has been staggering. If we take a look at the empowerment of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, there have been manifold efforts. On November 15, 2021, the Modi government notified the birth anniversary of Birsa Munda as Janjatiya Gaurav Divas to commemorate the contribution of tribals in nation's history and culture.
There has been a 300% rise in ST component in the budget, with Rs 87,500 crore in 2022-23 compared to Rs 21,525 crore in financial year 2013-14.
Also, under Mission Bandhan, over 52,000 self-help groups benefiting 9.27 lakh tribals in 27 states and union territories have been assisted. Earlier, the number of forest produce items covered under MSP was low. But now, there has been a 600% jump in the number of minor forest produce items covered by MSP, from 12 in 2014 to 87.
To benefit the education of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe communities, there has been a 400% increase in the number of Ekalavya model residential schools sanctioned since 2014 compared to 2004-2014 period. Now, a substantial section of people belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe are marginalized. In order to improve their economic status, the government has launched a number of welfare initiatives, and they are bearing fruit.
SC/ST entrepreneurs have received over 35,000 crore worth of financial assistance under Stand Up India. In fact, it will be interesting here to note that 50% of 33.8 crore Mudra Yojana's entrepreneurs belong to the SC/ST and OBC communities. Similarly, for the OBCs and economically weaker sections, reservation has been introduced for the first time in All India quota of medical NEET, both undergraduate and postgraduate.
Constitutional status to National Commission for Backward Classes, which was a long pending demand, was granted. To honor Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Panch Teeth have been developed at 5 important sites of his life. The marginalized have also been legally empowered with the strengthening of the SC/ST Atrocities Act in roots. No social justice is possible if the women are neglected, and this is what the Modi government understands very well. A series of measures have ensured women are empowered, leading to empowered households.
Financial inclusion initiatives like Jan Dhan Yojana have unshackled the women in all segments of the society. In 2005-2006, only 15% of women used bank accounts. The number has risen to 78.6% to this day. Another scheme, the Mudra Yojana, has benefited millions of Indian entrepreneurs, particularly women. This is evident from the fact that 68% of 33.8 crore loans under Mudra Yojana have been handed out to women entrepreneurs. Women shouldn't be made to choose between career and motherhood. Therefore, in yet another progressive step, the duration of paid maternity leave has been increased from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Not just that, even in the defense sector, the Modi government has paved the way for women to follow their dreams. Women have also been granted permanent commission in army, appointed on board warships, and as fighter pilots, truly channeling the Nari Shakti of India. Women are poised to join the NDA. Sainik schools are now admitting girls, ensuring equal opportunities for both boys and girls. Reservation for women in police and union territories, central armed forces along with several states have in the last 7 years almost doubled their representation in police forces.
When Prime Minister Modi gave the clarion call for saving the girl child, the nation heard. For the very first time, there are more women than men, at 1,020 women per 1,000 men. Also, one of the biggest reforms by the Modi government was the abolition of the archaic practice of triple talaq. Another vulnerable section of our society are the workers. Millions of workers in the country have been engaged in all kinds of jobs for their livelihood. To ensure that no one is left behind, the Modi government has made tremendous efforts to push for the rights of the labor force in India.
Over 26 crore unorganized sector workers have been registered on the e-Shram portal that serves as the first ever national database of unorganized workers, including migrant workers, construction workers, gig and platform workers, etc. This increases their chances to secure jobs they want. The COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the world economy, the impact of which has been felt especially by the poor. To shield the workers from this adverse impact and to provide job security, the Modi government had launched the Emergency Credit Loan Guarantee Scheme under Atmanirbhar Bharat that has saved 1.5 crore MSME jobs.
Simpler legal framework ensures greater compliance. If laws are easy to comprehend, then they are also easy to implement. Keeping this as the focus, the Modi government has done away with the 29 labor laws that were outdated but remained in practice, that caused unnecessary hindrances when processes could be actually speeded up. So the Modi government simplified this and introduced just 4 labor codes.
Providing a safety cover during crisis to street vendors under PM Swanidhi, loans worth over 3,200 crore were disbursed that injected a new lease of life into their businesses and served as a safety net.
The makers of our constitution had envisaged a society that would be devoid of any kind of discrimination. And to ensure that such a society is nurtured, Prime Minister Modi has taken concrete steps to bring in reforms that don't just provide support to the marginalized, but also empowers them to become self-reliant.
There were many disabilities that were not considered so for the longest time, but the Modi government identified these and included them in the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. Also, if you remember earlier, public infrastructure that would enhance accessibility for Divyangjan was rare, but now this isn't the case. Under Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, public infra and services are being developed, keeping Divyangjans in mind to provide them with accessibility.
Another disadvantaged section of the society was that of transgenders, denotified, nomadic, semi-nomadic communities. This section of our society was ostracized for decades, and no proper efforts were made for their inclusion. Despite their mention in our epics, recognition and dignity were a distant dream. But the Modi government has provided a shoulder of support to them, providing them with security and opportunities.
The government brought in reforms through the Transgender Persons Act to protect their rights. A scheme of Garima Grah that provides shelter, facility, food, clothing, skill development opportunities, yoga, legal support, etc. was initiated, with 12 being set up across the country.
In the last 8 years, society has evolved. The government has made massive efforts to help every section, working towards reforms, inclusion, opportunities so that no one is left behind, so that they can contribute to the building of new India. The Modi government understands what it takes to realize the India that the makers of our constitution had dreamt of, and it is relentlessly working towards providing development with dignity. That was all in this episode of NIJ Explains. Do let us know in the comments below how you liked this video. Until next time, this is Richa Dwivedi signing off. Dhanyavad and Namaste.